Hello and welcome to CX Today. My name is Charlie, I'm the senior editor here, and today I'm delighted to be joined by Kyle Johnson, President and CEO of Lighthouse Works. Kyle, thank you very much for joining us. How are you doing today?
Good morning, Charlie. And well, it may not be so early for you over there, but I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having us on.
Yeah, it's great to have you on, and appreciate you coming on early as well to speak to us today. And it's a very kind of interesting conversation. This one, we're going to be discussing kind of your project at Lighthouse Works to kind of create more career opportunities for the blind and visually impaired people. And so I think it's a really great initiative. But kind of before we get into that, maybe the best place to start is by asking you kind of to tell us a little bit about Lighthouse Works and your customer service operations.
Sure. So, our founding organization is called Lighthouse Central Florida, actually, and it is been around in this community since 1976. And essentially, if you're born visually impaired or blind or become so at any age, we're the organization that helps you live beyond those restrictions through vision rehabilitation, training, and education. Um, Doing that over the years, we found that applying process technology and training can really level the playing field for people who are visually impaired or blind and living and learning. But we also recognize that for longer than I've been alive, 7 out of 10 Americans who are blind are not in the workforce. This is the most highly educated disabled group on the planet, and they have a lot of value. Some of them have college degrees, advanced degrees, ran their own business before they lost their ability to see. And so we needed to determine how do we create our own funding to serve our community while also putting a dent in that 7 out of 10 statistic. So we created Lighthouse Works as a subsidiary nonprofit, a social enterprise company, and not it is designed to achieve a double bottom line. One, create competitive careers for people who are blind, while two, generating net redeployable revenue we can utilize to enhance and expand how we're helping folks in the community. And we started that about 11 years ago, and I don't mind sharing with you that we knocked around for about 8 years, really. I mean, we really, 7, 8 years, we're just trying to figure it out. Our first two business lines were a supply chain service, so packing, shipping, distribution, light assembly. And then our other first business was a contact center. So to put it into context, we had 6 call center agents when I joined in 2013. I was in a different role. And then when I stepped into the president CEO role in 2019, we had about 20 call center agents. And then today, and in part with the help of technology like Genesys and partners like Genesys, we've been able to, I think we have somewhere in the ballpark of 550 agents over just 36 months. Um,
Wow.
so, so that's where we're at. We created over a quarter of the new blind jobs in the U.S. last year, and we have much bigger plans than that.
Hmm. Yeah, it's a great initiative, and it's quite a staggering statistic that you gave there. Kind of 7 out of 10 blind people in America kind of are unemployed, and as you say, there's some real good talent, really great talent within there, highly educated, as you said, and that growth really is staggering. I mean, over that 36-month period, yeah, it's really
Thank
great
you.
to hear. And you mentioned there that you're starting now to leverage technology with the help of Genesis to kind of to create more career opportunities. Could you maybe give us a little bit of insight into how you're using that technology?
Sure. So to make our business work, about 40% of our call center agents are typically sighted individuals. That should be put out there. Everything that we do with our customers starts with value, performance, and quality, period. If we can't establish that reliably and consistently, then the blindness really is a non-factor because they're not going to trust us with their business. So we, in the past, as we built, we were using a different telephony system, and it was sort of really good for where we were. But once we really had this tremendous growth, I mean, just explosion, and really driven by a tailwind created by the COVID pandemic, because the narrative in the media was no one wants to work, and we said, you know what, we know a lot of people who want to work, and then companies or leaders who would not allow work from home had to, and then they saw that it could work. And so the number one barrier to employment for individuals who are blind is transportation. And so we kind of took that elixir and it became an accelerant for our business. And as that happened, we really needed to up our game relative to telephony and software and all the technology involved in our business. And we evaluated a lot of different potential partners, and really it came down to Genesys. And a big part of that is, frankly, their people, you know. But they've also been, since we've joined them, we've had zero outages. They've been incredibly supportive. They've gone above and beyond because I think they have adopted our mission and they've really been inspired. And so we've had a lot of opportunities to talk with them or about them, and we're thrilled to do that. The flexibility that we access through using a platform like Genesys is just critical. So, Charlie, if I may, I just wanted to kind of describe why that is in a way that's perhaps unique to any others who are running contact centers. Is that cool?
Yeah, yeah, no, that's absolutely great, and it's yeah, amazing to hear kind of the kind of how you've kind of leveraged the platform and all the benefits that it is bringing you. And I'd like to actually delve a bit deeper into kind of how you're leveraging the platform, but maybe let's
Yeah.
first kind of set the picture of kind of the results that you've achieved since kind of moving on from your previous telephony provider to moving across to Genesis.
hmm
What kind of changes have you seen?
Well, again, zero outages, literally
Mm,
zero. That uptime has been critical for our customers.
yeah.
Um, I think also to again extremely responsive and adaptable. So we create actually middleware is what we call it. We have a senior software developer who's blind, and his protege now, who he's training, is blind. And so some aspects of the interface that our agents are having to utilize for on behalf of our customer are not accessible to a screen reader. So if you just easy way to think of it is they have the computer speaking in this ear. They've got, and they're reading, quote unquote, everything and navigating windows and doing all the things an agent needs to do, working through those workflows, only using a keyboard because they can't use a mouse, right? And then they have the customer in this ear. And the computer speech rate after folks doing this work for so long, I like to say it's faster than the voice at the end of a car commercial, right? Like I don't understand most of it because it's going so quickly. But they're able to interpret need, deliver great customer service, solve problems, record notes. So our interface that we need is pretty unique in the business, and Genesis has been incredibly supportive with that. The API integration has a lot with Genesis has allowed us to customize interfaces and increase productivity and accessibility. So that's been massive for us as well. Another cool sort of byproduct of this is, you know, different markets that Genesis operates in require a greater amount of accessibility in order for them to do business. And so we went and we thought about it. How should we make our interface streamlined with the thinking in mind of someone using JAWS, the screen reader, job access with speech. And so basically, we developed our own user interface, and that's 100% accessible and really streamlines the workflows for agents who are utilizing it with a screen reader. So it's custom. And Genesis has been enthusiastic about us getting that user interface onto the App Foundry. So we're
Mm.
hoping that we can get that on there soon out of beta testing and help others be more accessible and be able to hire people who may have varying needs as far as their interface.
Yeah, that's really great, and it's great to hear kind of that you're putting that onto the App Foundry. That's amazing, and that you've been able to kind of customize the solution so much, and as you say, also kind of use the screen readers, and make it available for remote work because transportation, as you said earlier, was the main issue.
Yep.
Lots of really good stuff there. Are there maybe any others kind of solutions that you're finding really helpful within the platform? And could you give us a little bit of info into how they're kind of helping this initiative?
Well, I will tell you, in full disclosure, I have a team of people who are a lot smarter than me that know a whole boatload about this product. So I'm sort of limited there.
Mm,
You know, I have an understanding of the value of the APIs that we have access to and things of that nature. But um, as far as I know, we are adding continually new modules, and they're utilizing those as we go. When we switched to Genesys, we had a really huge opportunity when it comes to our data tracking and just having that business intelligence accessible to us. And I know that accessibility of that data has been skyrocketing because of the tool. And
mm,
what I can say from a high level is there's nothing we've thrown at Genesis that that's that spooked them or that they couldn't do, and they've done what they said they would do. And that's really, if you boil it down, that's a critical piece, right? In business, you need a partner who's going to do what they say they do and step
mm,
up. And so they listen when we give them feedback about some of the aspects that we're engaging with this unique workforce. They want to hear it. They want to, they voiced, I think, from the top, Tony Bates, that they want to be a fully accessible solution. And I think they're well on their way for that. But yeah, data reporting, things of that nature have been really enhanced for the team. And we've had to, in fact, because of the access to that, we've had to build the team out more, and really add business analysts and, folks that are crunching data and helping us make sure that we're not incurring any waste. Because, again, for the business, that and profitability, that's very important, but also on behalf of our customer.
mm. Yeah, I think that's great, and I'm sure you have a lot on your plate as well, managing that huge expansion that you were discussing earlier. So I think lots of really good stuff there. But as for my kind of final question now, I think it would be really good to kind of get your advice for the benefit of other maybe contact center leaders who are thinking, there's a huge talent pool out there of people who aren't fully abled. Um, and they kind of maybe want to open themselves up, become kind of increase the accessibility, sorry, of their system so they can
Hmm.
attract that vast pool of people. What advice would you give to them as they kind of look to set up a similar project, perhaps?
First thing I would say to them is thank you. And secondly, I would say it's a very smart decision that you would be making.
Mm,
And so what they could expect if they were to adopt this approach are a few competitive advantages that are distinct, and we derive them because our workforce is unique, not in spite of it. So I'll give you, for instance, it's no mystery or no secret that in a customer contact center, oftentimes you're looking at 30, 50, 75% attrition. Among our blind colleagues, our attrition is below 4%. That's
mm,
big. And among our sighted agents as well, it's below 10%. So that there's a something that's tough to pin down and measure, Charlie. But when it comes to company culture and the culture of our contact center, we're seeing a real stickiness of the agent. Likewise, one of the big buzzwords in the industry is empathetic listening. You have people on the phones who are typically more experienced, maybe have a higher level of education than an entry level contact center agent. So out of the box, but these folks have been problem solving perhaps their whole life, every day, or since they've gone blind, they've got to figure out hacks and ways to do all the things that we're doing to be competitive in a sighted market. So the out of the box, organic, empathetic listening really is a huge factor there as well. And then there's going back to where we started with the 7 out of 10 statistic. I don't think it's inappropriate for me to say that a lot of my colleagues probably come to work with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder because they've breezed through phone interviews and then they show up with their white cane, and everyone assumes they're incapable. And so, product quality, work quality is extremely important to them. So you have agents who are working that it means more to them than just a paycheck. So those things they can, we are available if any company out there in your viewership says, "Hey, how can I do this?" We're happy to talk to you about that. Um, Resource share, tell you the good, the bad, and the ugly. We're happy to do that. I don't want to paint some picture that it's easy street. We, people are people. So people who are blind are just people, and you have people all over the spectrum, right? But the benefits to them, to society, to your community, to your company culture, and to your business bottom line is certainly there.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's quite clear to see from those eye-opening statistics that you gave, especially around agent attrition, and even with kind of cited agents, as you said, around 10%. That is kind of staggeringly low for this industry. So maybe that's maybe a topic for another time. But
Sure.
Carl, it's been an inspiring conversation. So I really appreciate you coming on to join us today. So yeah, thank you very much.
Charlie, thank you so much, and thanks for shining a light on what we're doing, and our partner Genesis. We wouldn't be here without
Yeah.
them.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, as I said, really great conversation today. And thank you. And thanks to all our viewers for watching. Bye for now.